ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. The kicker, Chad Ryland, has this one teed up. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. First carry here for Ken Walker. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much. And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Now it's Darnold.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Greg George deep for Arizona. Pulled in at the 24. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at the 34. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. There's a short one caught by Ryman. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Well, I'm quite sure that they envisioned a much better start to this game when they practiced all week. But they failed on that 3rd down play. That brings up 4th down, and they'll probably have to punt it away.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. Back deep is Steven Sims. This will be fielded at the 17. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Here now, a 3rd down and 8. Off of play action, Darnold. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. On the return, Dortch. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd down and a yard. Murray a give. This is Connor. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman, the ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
He'll try and run for it with Connor. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
But we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit, but how about guys who are maulers? Because that's what you want in short yardage situations, and we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. To throw, it's Murray. There's a short one caught by Ryman. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Connor up the middle. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. From the gun, Murray. Finds his running back, James Conner. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Shotgun now for Murray. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
They'll try the left side with Connor. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
Now a handoff coming left, Connor. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. They run behind center with Connor. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Connor going to get it again on second down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Pass to the right, and he's got McBride. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And his kick is good. And the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Ryland now following the touchdown, back out to kick it away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And they'll have this all the way out to the 50-yard line. Excellent field position. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Now off the bootleg, Darnold. Throw out wide to Walker. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Arizona's offense back out and ready to go. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Murray. Catch made right side by Wilson. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down. From the gun, a give to Connor.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
To throw is Murray. Over the middle, complete. That's Harrison. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Again, a run with Connor. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. He was brought down there by Julian Love. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and are controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Back in Arizona, second quarter action. It's the Cardinals in possession. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Throwing now is Murray. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Here's Blake Gillikin now. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And a short pickup to about the 25.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here's 2nd and 7. Faking the give, Darnold. Throw left side, complete to Cup. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Now that's the way you want to start a drive. Talk about a tone setter as well as a playbook opener. Now if you want to take a big shot over the top, you're all positioned to do so.
From the 41, this is 2nd and a yard. Again, it's Connor. Shedding through the defense. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 50 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Out of the shotgun, they'll run with Connor. And he'll work down inside the 45.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd down and 6 now. And now Murray's going to set up the throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Murray now. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 20-yard line. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. This is Connor running right, and he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Murray going to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
Here's Chad Ryland now on for the field goal. This just 32 yards officially from the right hash. And his kick is good. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no win. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
So after the field goal, Ryland back out as he'll send this one away. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Now the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Here's Walker to start the drive. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Ball on the 36 now. Here's second down and 7. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. Out right to Smith and Jigba. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. Now after the false start, they need 8 yards here on third down. Here's Darnold. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. The third down conversion successful. A gain of 11.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. Third down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out. But his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
A play fake, and it's Darnold. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's the second down and 6. Sticking with Walker on second down. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Now Darnold. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3. It leaves him with 4th and 1.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one.
I don't care what he's listed in the program. Fullback, running back, tailback, it doesn't matter. He ran that play like a fullback. Just like the old days when we saw the fullback dive. How about him picking that one up?
Only needed a yard on 4th down. That's what he's there for, right?
Exactly. Line him up, short yardage situation, and say, here it is, big man. Go get it.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9. They'll come up now, 3rd and 3. Play action. It's Darnold. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
So from an offensive perspective, at least able to get on the board here right in front of the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, now it's time to talk about complementary football, isn't it? Because if the defense can force a 3-and-out, there could be enough time on the clock that they can get the ball back for their offensive guys and maybe put some more points on the board before the half.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yeah,
run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Here's a handoff to Connor. And he'll be taken down with a first down as they get about 14 out of that one, and we go to the 2-minute warning. 74 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. Here's Murray. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they could at least attempt to kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
And this will be swung out here for Connor. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield, but as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a first down. They were maybe hoping for a little bit of a back shoulder fade there, and that's a play that's been in vogue the last few years in all aspects of football, but they couldn't get the hook up there.
2nd and 10. Murray now to throw. This is taken in by McBride. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Trey McBride, 30 yards. And the Cardinals will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. And what I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half. And now to give us momentum going into the second half, give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
Back out is the kicker, Ryland, and he'll send this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Seahawks going to take over now late in this first half. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. And that's complete. It's Sims. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Off of play action, Darnold. That ball is caught. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, Darnold. And out of bounds right around the 20. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
Partner, the good ones have a clock running in their head, okay? Because it says something like this: I've got this many seconds to find a target. After that, I have to tuck it and try and get some yardage on this 1st down snap. He doesn't just get some yards, though. He gets a big gain, and they'll come right back with another 1st and 10.
This one goes underneath to Walker. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Here now, 2nd and 4. Here's Darnold. And he will throw this one out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Darnold. And that went to the right side and incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. This a 31-yard attempt. Myers' kick is good, and they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. So yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Well, the Cardinals going to get the football one final time here in this first half. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. The Cards with the lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Cardinals ready to go here to start the third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I liked what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, and Murray in trouble here, and down he goes. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6. I'm sure a lot of time was spent in the locker room, Charles, talking with his defense about setting a tone here in the third quarter when you're down on the scoreboard. A sack like that, maybe that can get them going.
Yeah, you have to believe exactly what you just said, that they got together and said, let's be some change agents here. Let's go ahead and turn things around. Let's be the force that gets us going here in the second half and puts us in a position to find a way to win the game.
That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4. And they will take over 1st and 10. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Back to Walker on 1st down. And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want. But on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
And Walker once more. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Darnold now to throw. And complete to Smith and Jigba. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
2nd down and a yard. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And some space here. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 59 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
And able to work his way down to the 16. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now 2nd and 3. Toss left side for Walker. Shoves, and he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Ken Walker. A 16-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And we got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Lead to counter. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that will bring up
back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
A give running right is counter. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
I know they want to go for it here, and I know that their fans want them to go for it, but listen, I'm going to play head coach right here and look at the facts. Tie game, plus, even if you get the first, you still got a half a field to go. I'll go ahead and punt the football myself.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
To throw is Darnold. He'll get this one to Cup, complete. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it's 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
So from the 37, here's a 2nd and 9. Up the middle, here's Walker. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 113 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Faking the give, Darnold. He'll get that to Charbonnet. And he is going to lose yardage here. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
A throw out wide, going to be incomplete. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, and it'll bring up third down. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got it at the 15. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 51 yards. And the Seahawks have scored again in this 3rd quarter, this time to move out in front. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They trail 20-13 our score as they have it 1st and 10. It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Murray now. Caught. It's Wilson. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 43. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Murray a give. This is Connor. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Broke through some contacts, but unable to reach the 40. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Throwing now is Murray. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
He really looked comfortable there, scanning the situation, analyzing things, feeling the pressure, and then stepping up right through the middle and sprinting for a 1st down.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's Cardinal football, but they trail here as we get set to bring you the 4th and final quarter. And now Murray's going to set up the throw. He'll get that complete to Harrison. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 23 yards on the play.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Now Murray, he bootlegs it. Flush to his right. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Kyler Murray, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Cards are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th-quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown. All tied up in the 4th quarter. And a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. Walker now on 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. That is incomplete.
Oh, that's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 7. Now it's Darnold. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Cup. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
A lot of times the key is just get him the ball and let him do his thing, and they got it out to him on the left side, and he did exactly that. Excellent run after the catch.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 27. Out of the gun, Walker with it. A tough run, but not a huge gain. Dropped at the 25. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
And Walker has it. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 12-yard line. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
They'll toss this out right to Walker. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
From the 7, it's 2nd and 5. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
This offense has converted 2 third downs on this drive already. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw, Darnold. Completes it to Fant on the right side. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the first down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
So on now comes the kicker. It's Jason Myers. This to break our 4th quarter tie. Myers' kick is good, and they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. He'll start the drive with a give to Connor. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 6. Again, a run with Connor. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Here's Murray. Escaping the pressure right. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a 1st.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
Now Murray. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Well, this has certainly turned into a showcase game for what he can do on the ground because they're just continuing to give him chances to run it, and he's earning every additional carry by putting up positive yardage on each run.
Here's 2nd and 3. They fake the handoff. Now Murray. That ball caught by Harrison. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And he'll head out of of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Murray now to throw. Flushed out right. And here he'll get it down to the 7. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Here's Connor on the read option. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Murray now, 3rd and goal. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Zay Jones from 4 yards out. And the Cardinals have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. This has definitely been a back-and-forth affair, and now they have the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and they gave up the field goal on that last drive, as we remember, but it felt like their offense told them, don't worry about it. We got your backs. We'll come back with a touchdown of our own, and they did.
Extra point by Ryland, up and good, and that will make this a 4-point game. Ryland now following the touchdown, back out to kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Now Darnold. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Darnold. He completes this to Walker. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
On 3rd down, here's Walker. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you've got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Here's Darnold. He's got Cooper Kupp on the slant. Able to slither by. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's 1st and 10. Straight ahead, Walker. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. And now all of a sudden the shoe's kind of on the other foot. Maybe you pull the reins back here a bit?
Yeah, a little bit, because you got to make sure that you don't score too quickly.
Here's first down. Darnold to throw. Throwing the out route, and he connects with Fant. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Second down and 3. Now Darnold. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And the Seahawks are looking at first and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
That's a nice job right there, partner, because they were able to work down the middle of the field, working in the seams, because I think defensively they were guarding the sidelines, trying to keep them from getting out of bounds. They took what they gave them, and it was successful.
Darnold. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute. What a game this has been, and what a drive that was, Charles, to take the lead here late in the fourth quarter.
And, partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce just one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time left. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this win away.
Myers connects on the PAT. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages, as a field goal now can only tie it. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. But as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around. Kyler Murray now in the Cardinal offense. Down by a field goal. A little under 30 seconds remaining. They've surrendered a double-digit lead, but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down. Murray to throw. Man open, here is Jones. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts. Now it's the Cardinals' turn. Trailing by a field goal. 23 seconds to go. They need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up first and 10. Back to throw. Murray. A short one here, caught by McBride. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Well, this offense still has the one timeout here, remember. First and 10. Now a handoff coming left, Connor. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. The Cardinals forced to burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick here is good. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think that pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels, because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as the kick's away here. Here's Steven Sims on the return from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So it's the Cardinals set to receive it. They'll look for a winning drive as we get this overtime period started. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. He's had some big runs in this game. Not there, though.
But I don't think they're going to be deterred by that play right there. He's had some nice runs in the game. And how many times have we seen a good running back get stopped, yet turn it into something big on a later carry? I'd stay with him.
And that is incomplete. Well, their defense did its job. Now they're going to get the football with a chance to win it.
And it feels like they ran out on the field, and right before they did, they told the offense, don't worry about this. We got you. Okay, we've got the situation under control. We'll get it back for you for a chance to win the game. And, boy, they did it well.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points, and now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal, and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really, really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. Well, we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick 6, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play it.
This being their 2nd opportunity in overtime, 3rd overall drive, see if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few first downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time.
Here comes 3rd down at 7. Now Darnold with his first throw of OT. He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, and that's so close to being intercepted. That could have been a big turnover in overtime if he had held on. Instead, though, it is still 4th down.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Now here comes Dortch on the return. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 37. The drive will start with Connor. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Each team's had it in overtime, so next score wins. Here's 2nd down. They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Murray going to throw. Now he's fourth, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And that'll bring up 4th down on the big sack with a loss of 5.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Here's Walker to start the drive. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with 3rd down looming. That now brings up a very interesting identical situation on 3rd down.
Yeah, people couldn't see us on camera, but I love how you motioned to me like, throw the ball. This is a great shot to take it. 2nd and short. Maybe take a big shot downfield. Instead, they ran it. Didn't work out for them very well. They should have listened to you, partner.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. And they'll try the air now with Darnold. Now that'll be caught by Cup. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 1st down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run. But for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Off of play action, Darnold. Throw out wide to Walker. No gain on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Darnold. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. So out now come the Cardinals. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They start with a give to Connor. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Murray now. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Murray. He's got McBride here over the middle. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
And from the 42 now, here's 2nd and 2. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Connor up the middle. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. They run behind center with Connor. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Play action. Now it's Murray. There's a short one caught by Ryman. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to spring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Murray from midfield. He's got his target. That's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 40. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. That last pass puts him over 300 yards now in the game. More importantly, though, big first down here in OT.
And the team around him has a lot of confidence now after picking up that first down. Everyone seems a little more energized. But call in and say, this is my quarterback. Gave you a good stat, didn't he?
He did, and I appreciate him.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Connor going to get it again on second down. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And he'll be taken down at the 34.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So it all rides now on the foot of the kicker, Chad Ryland. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And the Cardinals win it. That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the fourth quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Cardinals as we say so long from Glendale.